Hello everyone, I am Tony Civitella, President and CEO of Transfinder. School transportation departments have risen to the occasion like never before. The best way to describe transportation departments in 2020 is flexible. Remember, we're all thinking about how would school reopen? How many students will be able to be put on a bus? How about, should we take temperatures at the bus stops? How about those split schedules? How can we even manage that? Transport all those students. You have risen to the occasion like never before. You were delivering food to students in need. You had to even deliver technology to those students. And some of you will deliver life-saving vaccines. It's not that you've never had to adapt to changing conditions before. For those of you in areas where you get a lot of snow, like us here at Transfinder upstate New York, you know that snow creates havoc to your routes. How about those of you who have to deal with earthquakes, tornadoes, mudslides, and wildfires? We know you have to be agile and you have to change on a dime. So I know you could plan for unplanned. And as the saying goes, those who fail to plan, guess what? They plan to fail. So here's my recommendations on how to navigate 2021. Definition of navigate is to plan and direct a route, to travel over a stretch of terrain carefully. And that's an important word, because we need to carefully plan 2021 as best as we can. Like the Transfinder Peace Plan that we talked about many times, navigate is also an acronym. Let's talk about the first letter, N for negotiate. It means to find a way through a difficult path. Isn't that something? The best way to navigate is to have a routing system and a routing plan. Transfinder's Route Finder Plus, as well as the new and improved Wayfinder, could help you and easily create and adjust these routes based on these changing landscape that's caused by COVID, or really anything else that comes your way. It now takes us to the next letter. It's A. Well, A stands for Artificial Intelligence Optimization. AIO. This is a term we have coined that refers to the algorithm that computes the safest and most efficient routes and stops. Does your routing system have your local knowledge baked into it? Algorithms are complex, but your local knowledge has to be in there or the routing system is not going to know what to do. So when we talk about this local knowledge, means it's all this information that you know. Maybe it's up here. We all have these streets that the big bus can't go down on it. How about that left-hand turn, which is great around midnight, but try that in the morning. That's that local knowledge that needs to be baked, has to be part of the routing system. And by the way, software lets you capture it, even that important. So we know that's important. So our new routing system lets you put that information in there. It's really part of the optimization that we take your local knowledge, which is probably right here, and now it's in the computer and it helps you. You know, there is a saying that we've all heard a lot of times, so you can really set it and forget it. It's part of where you could then have the peace of mind. Let's jump to the next letter. That's letter V. Well, V stands for view. Do you have a solution that allows you to easily monitor your day-to-day operations? Well, you should. Can you quickly access updates on students, trips, field trips, and really all the other resources? Can you have reports like this amazing report that everyone's asking for, contact tracing, sent to you automatically in your inbox before you even start your day? This is what everyone's talking about right now. Well, we have tools like Viewfinder that could help you do all of that. So let's jump to the next letter, and that's I. I stands for innovate. You have been incredibly innovative in finding creative ways to serve your communities. Transfinder's Route Finder Plus, routing software, and StopFinder, the parent app that we have been voted most innovative by you in the industry. Thank you for that. You will most likely have to remain innovative in 2021, and I promise you, Transfinder will also continue to innovate as well.
Transportation professionals are never going to get more time, but if they get more powerful tools and they know how best to use those tools, that's going to make a world of difference for the operation. It's going to not only save time, but it's going to provide some insights that make a lot of what they do in a manual way just more automated and provide them with an opportunity to really see their routes and their systems run as efficiently as possible.
All right, let's jump to the next letter. It's letter G. That's for GPS. Everyone talks about this today, but do you have GPS on your fleet? Hey, how do you track your buses? And whether are they following the planned routes? We talked about these planned routes all the time. Well, how do you know that the drivers are driving the planned routes? You need GPS. And how about parents? Do they know when their child's bus will arrive on time or even late? Do they even know? How many phone calls do you take on that? We have a product called Transfinder, and it has a functionality called Geo Alerts. It's really created for parents that could track their child's bus in real time. Important. GPS goes beyond really tracking a bus. We also see that there's a great way for you to plan your routes and then look at how you're doing.
So what I like about Viewfinder, one of the main features that we use it, the terminals use it, is to do our plan versus actuals.
I use that plan versus actual almost every day to compare when drivers are getting to stops, when they're supposed to be getting there.
All right, let's jump to the next letter. It's A. Well, that stands for attendance. Whew, that's a big one, right? Never before we've heard everyone talk about taking attendance on a bus like we do today. Coronavirus has raised the need to know who's on the bus, where they sit, what day that they were on the bus, all that information. And by the way, throw that with a complex schedule, yeah, you need to know that. It's important. It's crucial, part of your business. So attendance, we know how important it is. And it's also difficult to take attendance. So our technology provides tons of ways to take attendance, from just a simple way, from reports to right in our system, or even with the RFID card, scanner, whatever makes sense. So attendance is required, but we want to make sure we give you technology that makes it easy. Let's jump to the next letter. That's T. It stands for transfer. You know, can you easily and quickly transfer routing information to the substitute drivers? We know this happens every day. Every day there's a shortage, we know this. So how do you do this? How do you actually get that information to substitute drivers? And how about sharing that information with parents? Because let's face it, they might want to know if it's going to be a different driver picking up their little kid. How about if it's a different vehicle? They all want to know that information. So how do you share that? And how about that data, those important KPI reports? How do you share that with school administrators? You know they want it. They probably want it even now. With budgeting, everything that's going on, they want that information. And how about transferring the student discipline referrals to the principals? That information needs to go correctly, fast, accurate. We have technology that makes it easy for you to get that information in the hands of the key stakeholders. And data is powerful. We know that. So transferring that data, transfer that knowledge is crucial.
Viewfinder's power to me is in that automated reporting. And yeah, the dashboards are great, and are great for, you know, the director and the principals to get a hold of and look at, to where they can see kind of what's going on, but they're not always in their office. And if they can grab their mobile device and hit that report and it's already in their inbox and they don't have to do a bunch of extra work, that is where the power of Viewfinder to me is that hitting the inbox of the people that need to know right away. Then they have a reference to it no matter where they're at.
Now we move to one of my favorite letters. It's E. You know, it stands for evaluate. It probably sounds a little familiar to some of you guys. You know why? Because it's also the last letter in our peace plan. E for evaluate, which means you gotta constantly keep evaluating your routes, your stops, really your technology, and overall your plans. And you've done that. But guess what? You gotta keep doing that. It's part of our peace plan. So what does that mean? PEACE is an acronym that stands for plan, execute the plan, accountability, communicate, and examine. It's integrated technology that we put in the hands of your professional staff. So to recap how to navigate 2021, how will you negotiate the tough terrain? Are you using AIO, artificial intelligence optimization? Do you have ways to view and keep tabs on your day-to-day operations? I know we're all going to continue to innovate. And think about how GPS will help you analyze your routes. We know you'll have to take attendance, so find better ways to do that. And how will you transfer that routing information to drivers and all that critical data to key stakeholders? And finally, evaluate everything. So let's start navigating 2021 together.